I'm
Yeah,
starting to
I
think you're
don't blame you
Canadian.
directly. I do. Welcome to Dave's World. I am Dave, the Renegade Sapper, your host here for Friday Night Fireside. This is our show where we talk all kinds of things from religion to politics to pop culture. Tonight, we've got a great show for you. We're going to be talking about voting rights. So, getting a little bit more political this evening, but we are going to be reacting specifically to the debate that recently comedian Steve Hofstetter had with a political right-wing activist that goes by the name Professor Mike. And tonight I've got a masterful panel joining me. That was an inside joke we'll get to in a second. But before we do, I want to go ahead and make sure I introduce and give all the thanks in the world to my producer. Whenever you roll the dice, you take a gamble, and the gamble I take with me is my producer. Go ahead and say hello, Gamble. Talk to the audience and tell them hello.
Hello, hello, hello. I've already had a headache earlier, so let's keep this going and I don't lose or go broke, okay? Let's put it that way.
Double
Sounds
down,
good,
baby. Go hard or go home.
Sounds good. Let's go ahead and introduce the rest of the panel. Joining me, you saw him last week, was Shipwreck John. Was with us talking when we had a little bit more of a religious conversation. Shipwreck, go ahead and tell them who you are, where they can find you.
You can find me here on Dave's World and in the Discord occasionally. I'm also no longer very much on YouTube. I'll be on Hell's Bells um, Fireside. I forget what she calls it. Fireside as well.
Right.
Probably on the 14th. So on the 14th, and
you mentioned you had another Fred who did something similar to this for
yeah, right. Well, she's former ACA as well, so she's a good friend. She lives south of me by about an hour. So you know, she's
so
just
you can
really
actually see each other in person occasionally. That's cool.
Yeah, she's a great lady. Her husband Todd, he's a good guy. So you know, it's nice having at least somebody within reasonable driving distance. So that's fun. And then I'll be doing that. And then there's other shows I have in the works as far as participating in, and hopefully that'll fill my schedule. Yeah, it's been a lot of. I also am somewhat of an activist nowadays, so I have to leave some room in my schedule for that stuff. So yeah, that's all. And, you know, if you want to see me really, the consistent thing I'm doing is coming here on Dave's World, usually for the firesides.
Love that.
I want to get you at a table, dude. Honestly, if you have the time to do some D&D, I think you'd enjoy the shit out of it.
I used to do D&D when the version was the first version, so
no
back in the 70s.
Kidding. We should get
back
you back in.
70s.
That's so much fun.
You'd
be great.
That's what I learned on. My dad taught me
when
I was 8 years old. Yeah, no. So that I actually. Oh shit! I still have it. Oh my god. So okay, this is really cool. This is my dad's old monster manual, first edition. I actually have this cover on it for preservation purposes.
Oh my goodness. Is that a
Look
first edition?
at this.
First edition?
That is a first First edition Monster Manual.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I think I recognize that.
School, baby. Yes.
Oh man, that's got to be worth some
AD&D.
change, man. That's got to be worth some change. I'm glad you're keeping
It is
keeping
worth
it
some
preserved.
change, but
He's
oh
never gonna sell it.
yeah, but I would
No,
never
it's his
sell
dad's.
this. I would never sell this. This is yeah, this
pretty
was my
badass.
dad's book, and it was
That's crazy.
there's a story behind it. I'll briefly share. I don't want to share all the details, but I was on a road trip with him, and I basically had this book in the back seat of the car, and I was 8 years old, and I read it, and I was like, at the end of the car ride, I was like, Dad, teach me how to play this game, because I figured out it was a game, but I was like, there's more to it. This is just the monsters and some pictures, and it's really, really cool, but I want to learn the rest. And that was how I became DM Dave. Honestly, that's my origin story right there.
That's the beginning. That's the seed. How old were you?
Very beginning. Yeah.
Yeah. 8. I was 8.
That's wild. I was
8
4
on
the
a
first time I
road
played.
trip from San Diego to. I was 8 on a road trip from San Diego to Salt Lake City, Utah, and back, reading the Monster Manual in the back seat.
It's a long ride. You became a DM on that ride. You're
Yeah,
like,
well, I finished.
Numbers.
Basically, I mean, I kind of like, right? I was 8 years old, and I'd already been like, this is a game, but like, I figured that out based on rules for the monsters. But like, where's the rest of the rules, Dad? But yeah, I still have the Monster Manual. That was the thing that
That's sick.
sparked my interest, and that brings us to introductions, right? By way of introduction, our other panelists this evening, Chris Masters Ma.
Oh,
Go ahead and tell them who
hey.
you are and where they can find you, Chris.
What's up? I'm Chris Masasma. I'm brought on here today because I'm also Asian, but also American, but also Australian. I'm AAA, really. And that's the most AAA I can be.
Oh, I like that.
Besides being an actor. Yeah. Not the battery, like, you know, the... Anyways. You can find me... You can find me on Dave's World sometimes.
And going.
Yeah. That's all I want to say. Yeah.
And you like fail to mention that you can be found on goddamn IMDb.
Nice.
Dave should be my promoter, really. Like, he'll,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, just
I can give
advertisement
his
right there.
IMDb by my name.
like-
There's some films.
I love shouting out my friends. I love shouting out my
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah.
And then unable to join us on camera, but still being part of the panel this evening, Syntoxicated. Say what's up. Tell them who you are, where they can find you.
Alright, hi, I am Syntoxicated, and you can find me on TikTok and at Syntoxicated, and I'm also on Instagram at Syntoxicated03. And occasionally I'm here on Discord with you guys. And yeah, so that's me.
And before we dive into the topic tonight, I have a very quick, but very, very important announcement. The Dave's World Summer Live should be able to find the link in the description. Right? I am running a Dave's World giveaway with prizes from my sponsor, W Energy. The prize bundle includes a W starter kit, a special Joker edition shaker, and a W logo hat. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. I'm gonna be giving away all this stuff to one lucky winner, which will be chosen at the end of August. Entering is easy. I have the giveaway link posted
How do
in
you
my
enter,
video
Dave?
descriptions. I'm doing that right now, sir. Entering is easy.
I'm giving you the
giveaway
prompts.
link posted in my video descriptions. And there are multiple ways to enter. Most of them are simple things like visiting our YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, Threads, Facebook, and joining the giveaway list. And here's the fun part. I'll also be adding bonus entries during various live streams and videos. So make sure you're watching the channel and hanging out during lives. You never know when extra chances are going to pop up. So hit the link in the description and get your entries in, and good luck. Huge thanks to W Energy for sponsoring the giveaway, and thank you all for supporting Dave's World. Now, go enter before I change my mind, and keep the Joker shaker. All
Terms
right.
and conditions apply.
Hey,
Go ahead, Chris.
Dave, why don't you feed me that?
Yes,
Why don't you just get?
full rules and eligibility.
You know what, Dave? Why don't you just give it to me? I'm sure no one's gonna win it anyway. Cause it's been weeks since you last fed me. Okay.
Yeah, from the
Did you
basement.
by spoon or like you let you feed yourself?
He's been in the basement this
Yeah,
entire
Gamble's
time.
yeah, Gamble's trapped in my basement.
Grr.
Gamble's trapped in my basement, but I do feed him Dubby. That's why he has the energy to do all of this.
You
Hey.
just kind of like dump it down his throat.
It's a balanced diet.
Yeah, but what about
Just
the
stubby.
chains
Yeah.
and stuff?
He
What
actually,
about the
he
chains?
actually has
You
one of
chain him
those,
to the
like,
wall?
hamster things. No,
The
yeah,
chains
it's one
come
of
off
those
when you start
hamster things,
producing
and
mode.
you can just
Hamster
stick it-
wheels?
I can't really produce if I'm stuck on a wall, can I?
Hamster wheel. He also powers the house.
No, he's
yeah.
just chained. He's just chained to the. He's chained to the computer. But anyway,
Oh, my.
for
All day.
eligibility,
I cannot confirm or deny that.
and check the giveaway link in the description. The giveaway is not sponsored, endorsed, or administered by YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, or Threads. That is the actual legal disclaimer that I have. But it is a, like I said, you know, after to win. I gotta give it away to somebody, and I don't pick, right? So I don't choose. It's automatic through the system. It's gonna automatically select one person from all of the entries, and different actions have different numbers of entries tied. So like following me on Facebook might be worth 3 entries. Watching a YouTube video might be worth 3 entries. Following me on Threads, I think, is only worth 1 entry. I'm not sure. I don't remember. I'd have to look at it. But anyway, you'll be able to see it when you click on the link.
So
Alright.
Cindy and Gamble are probably
That's
gonna
all
win
the
because they're on
business
all of
stuff.
those platforms.
They do have more chances if they're following me, but
Quick
I'll just say-
quality check. Can everyone see Dave? Because Dave's frozen my screen.
He's
Yeah, he's
frozen
frozen
on
on
mine.
mine too.
oh, did it?
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, and not the cold kind of frozen.
Oh, I see. Yeah, no, I know what happened.
Yeah,
I think I fixed
someone's
it.
trying to steal all the
It's a really
dubby.
good
Someone's
side
trying to
of
steal all the
the
dubby now.
Yep. That's it.
It's all the
Gamble,
merch,
it's the
man.
opportunity
He's
to
grabbing
leave
all the
out of the
merch.
basement. Grab all the merch.
It was. Oh, okay.
This is the most
I
fun
know what's
intro
up.
section.
Okay.
This,
That's making me hot.
the hat?
Yeah.
That's what she said.
The ceiling fan doesn't work all the way here, and it's been like 95 every day. So it's like, you know,
What's
we
that
at
in
least get to see
Celsius?
things.
I know what the problem was. Discord was trying to switch over to the Bifrost cam, so I just unplugged the Bifrost cam since we're not using it tonight.
It's like 35 degrees Celsius.
okay.
That's hot.
Let me go ahead and queue up our video here in just a second. But before we actually start watching the video, like I said, the topic is voting rights. We're going to be reacting to a debate between comedian Steve Hofstetter and Professor Mike, who is a MAGA activist YouTuber. He is also a former Marine, which there's definitely
Steve
some
is?
opinions that I know John and I are going to have about that after. No, Steve is not. Professor Mike
Oh.
is.
Professor Mike. Gotcha.
This MAGA guy that Steve is debating is a former Marine, and he does mention some things. I don't want to spoil anything, but
There is no such
I
thing
have
as
a
a
question.
former Marine. There is either Marine or nothing. Anyone that says former is a liar.
If this guy
no.
is a
There's no
Marine,
such thing as an ex-Marine. Former Marine is actually the
No,
term they use. They
Yeah.
get mad if you say ex-Marine.
Shipwreck's got a question.
I was
Go ahead,
just
Sorry
I was
about
just thinking about that and saying, you know, I don't want to say anything derogatory about the Marine Corps because you know they can get a little testy about that. So I have personal experience
Well, I
with that.
definitely have
having
some
been on
things
an
to say.
I heard Cindy go.
I definitely have some things to say about veterans. I have a thing to say about veterans who support MAGA. But we'll get to
so
that
do
later.
I. Yeah, we'll get to that
I
later.
want to just
Oh,
talk
by the way,
about-
is Professor
I
Mike
want
an
to talk
actual
about before
professor?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is Professor Mike an actual
He
professor?
calls himself
Or is-
Professor Mike,
or
but
is he's cosplaying
he
as a
does not
professor?
have
How dare he?
I mean,
the
did
second
he
thing.
graduate from high school? Let's start with that.
Well, he did join the Marine Corps, so at the very least, he got a GED. I do
don't
know that
When they
much,
really
because I
meet
do know in
people,
order
they're
to
kind of a
serve, you
little
have
loose
to
on
get
the
your
judgment
GED.
there. Yeah, but you
They
can
do-
get it
they
after
do
you're
require
already
you to
in,
get
too.
a GED, even if it's right. It has to be part of the the process. Yeah, they do get loose and allow you to earn your GED while joining the military at the same time. But that is when they really need people.
Yeah,
That's
and then they send you to cheat
which happens.
classes, like, tell you what, I'm not going to say I'm taking the test for you, but I'm going to be watching over your shoulder and grunting a lot when you get it
Oh
wrong.
my God. It is so dishonest. Yeah, the way military education works can be so dishonest. But again, we can talk about more of that later. Let's talk. I want to ask individually, since the topic is specifically on voting rights, just get a baseline of what everybody's stance is on voting in particular. So I'm just going to say that I think that all citizens should be able to vote, period, and we should make it as easy as possible for everyone to do so. That is my base stance.
Question.
And shipwreck, by all means.
My question is, how do you get a 3-year-old to vote?
Ooh.
All citizens.
So not all citizens, all literate.
All citizens.
I don't know.
3-year-old
No,
not
no,
a
not
citizen?
literate. No, not
There's
literate.
some criticism, you know.
All adult citizens. All adult citizens. I will.
There we
refine that,
go.
thank you.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
adult
There you
yeah. That's
go.
a good qualification.
All
I like
adult
that.
citizen.
Yeah. That's a good qualification.
All adult citizens.
Who can read?
Everyone who's eligible. I could even get into the weeds about my thoughts on felonies and whether or not felonies should disqualify eligibility. That's a different conversation. Just the absolute baseline. That's my position. John, what's your, just when it comes to voting rights, where do you start?
Same place. I think that any adult who is a U.S. citizen or either by birth or by naturalization and should have the right to vote. There should be no discrimination. It should be one man, one vote, which we do not have that system in the United States. One man, one vote does not exist here. So that's something we could talk about later. At least for the president.
I'm going to come back around to you in a second, Chris. I'm going to come back around to you in a second, Chris. Let me ask Cindy, since you are the other American on the panel, because Chris has a unique perspective, and I want to save him for last.
Yeah.
Cindy, where do you just start your thoughts when we're talking about voting rights? What are your first thoughts?
Honestly, the same as both of you guys. Like, I think everyone should have every citizen should have the right to vote. And yeah, and I do really feel strongly when you make it accessible to everyone as well.
Yeah.
By all means.
Sweet.
Yeah, I'll jump on this
You
as
want to
well.
jump in?
Yeah, I want to jump on this. But yeah, I actually agree. I agree. Every anyone of an adult of a U.S. citizen has a right to vote in this country. In fact, I even want to go further and make it because we're supposed to cherish it as a right of an American citizen. Therefore, we should make it a holiday, an actual national, federal holiday across the board. Big old if anyone needs to do marketing, it needs to be by that time. Get your little sticker that says I voted, get a little cupcake or something to show that you have your cause support, paid days off, because they tried to shoot that down. Mitch is one of them. The turtle is known to do it because he actually voted down against it because he knew more people would come out and vote if they knew it was a holiday.
Oh, he's literally dying as we speak right now. So, but hold on to that thought because that actually will come up in the video.
Yes.
Specifically, making voting day an actual holiday that comes up in the video. Cool. So let's get around to our American
I want to add something
Australian.
that
Uh, oh, go ahead,
Asian
please.
American
Go ahead,
Australian.
Shipwreck. Yeah.
I think it should
Okay.
be,
I
it's a
respect
civic
it.
duty
You
to
can Google
vote.
yourself.
So, it's a civic duty to vote. We used to be taught that in high school. And people have gotten so far away from civics and learning formally about civics that they have forgotten that it is their duty to vote. So, in my experience, we have to make that, they have to give that some sort of either carrot or stick, somehow to let people know that that's what you're supposed to do.
That's a great segue. That's a great segue because things that the U.S.
Dave,
does do
Dave's
that
cutting in
are,
and out.
which
the
is
robotic.
am I better? Can you hear me now? Am I still coming
Yeah,
in and out?
but when you asked the question, you were clear.
Okay, maybe I was getting
Everything
too
preceding
loud and
that was
peeking my
not.
mic. I do that sometimes. So
You're good now. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I'll try to keep my voice down and not get too excited. I start to peak a little bit when I raise my voice. So Chris, Australia does two things that the U.S. doesn't do, which is why I wanted your perspective here and to talk about this stuff. And that is compulsory voting and choice voting. So those are two of the things that you have experience and perspective on that I'd like you to include in your reaction to the initial question about where we're starting about voting rights.
Going to. Same as all of you here. I think every person has the right to vote, and it should be made as easy as possible to vote. Australia is different because it is mandatory voting. If you don't vote, you have to get fined. You get fined. And that's also for like national as well as like local council. So I've I've made the mistake on going on holiday and then forgetting to vote or putting in like my like mail-in vote, and then getting a fine. And I'm just like, oh shit, yeah, I forgot my local council is actually voting it. So it's it's a good. I think
But
it's a
don't
good
they
way
like
in
if
some
you
sense.
actually like? Are you able to like be like, oh shoot, I'm sorry, I mailed it in late, and then reverse the fine, whether the vote counted or not?
No. If you miss the voting period and stuff, you just have to
No?
get a fine.
Okay,
So
so if
talking
you
about the
miss
carrot
it,
and
you
stick,
miss it.
that's the stick. The stick is like if you don't vote, you're gonna get
Yes.
fined. Like it's like a
It's
parking
not much,
fine.
right? Isn't it like $25 or something like that?
No, it's like a
Yeah, isn't it like $25 or
it's
something that,
plus
or is it
$100.
higher?
It's like a parking ticket.
Okay, I might have been
Yeah.
looking at old data. I remember
Yeah.
it being
I'm pretty sure.
like
Pretty sure it's
something lower
100
than that,
plus.
below 100.
Yeah.
And that's of course
Um,
AUD, which would be if we're talking like 150 AUD, we're looking at least 200 US, right? Give or take. On the
Other way
exchange rate.
around. So I think it's like
Other
if it's
way around.
Other way
150
around. Oh.
Aussie, it's probably like 100 US. Still, it's
Okay,
not
gotcha,
it's not
gotcha.
cheap.
Okay.
It's like
At
like 2
least
weeks of
at the
groceries.
moment,
I
because our
didn't-
economy is doing its thing. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I reversed a decimal point there in my head. But yeah, okay. So yeah, you're talking about compulsory voting, and how does that actually affect you? Because you mentioned it hit you, but like, is there any kind of real push in Australia to change that, or do people for the most part vote?
People for the most part vote. Like I would say 99% of people in Australia vote, and I think that's it's a working system. It's an interesting thing where in America everyone's really like passionate about the politics, right? Everyone talks about the politics, and yet it's not mandatory. But in Australia, it's mandatory, and people are more empathetic about it. Like people like we never talk about politics until like election time. You're like, oh, like who are you voting for? Let me look into it. Like, so it's an interesting difference in perspectives. Like, very very different. It's a lot more chill in
Well,
Australia.
it's also coming from a place of ultranationalism. It's
Yeah.
coming from a place of ultranationalism, which is something we'll probably
Yeah.
talk about
We
tonight.
didn't have a revolutionary
But-
war. That's the difference with Australia.
but
John?
the odd thing about that is that the U.S. We don't only about between 25 to 50% of our eligible voters actually vote. So that's now in
25?
off-season elections,
And that goes to the point that we've made it harder. That goes to the point that we have made it harder for people to vote. We have disenfranchised people. That is going to be
25%.
definitely a key part because Professor Mike very specifically argues for disenfranchisement of certain people. So we'll get into that later.
Wow.
My other question for you, Chris, coming into this conversation was your experience with ranked choice voting. That's something that I really like the idea of, but I've never had any experience with ranked choice voting because it's just not something we do here.
Well, Alaska
So can you
and
talk a little bit about that?
Maine do.
Sure.
Alaska and Maine have
do?
ranked
Cool.
choice.
Sure. Okay.
So
it's not something we do where I live.
yeah. Respect to Dave, you know more about like our political system than most, I think, average Americans as well. Yeah, when we vote, we go into the ballot, like, you know, it's the cardboard ballots is what. The voting sheet is like this long. It's like yay long. It's like it's that big. And on the top, you have there's a line kind of at the if it's like 100%, 0%, it's like at the 80% mark. There's a line, and there's a bunch of boxes. So you can either pick, I'll pick this party and whatever they select, their choice, or you can specifically.
Oh, so you can just literally do a down ballot vote.
So you can go like whatever that
click down ballot.
Like this like Liberal Party or Labor Party. That's Republican. Democrat.
Actually, I could jump behind this too if I want to jump in real quickly here because that actually sounds like the stock market.
Please.
With some stock investors, when they buy stock, they do a split vote. Either they put all the money onto one person for the CEO spot because the stock is a ballot of ownership, or they do a 50-50 split. Like if one guy likes two CEOs but doesn't know which one to pick, he could put 50 on one guy, 50 on the other guy. That's literally the stock market.
Not exactly.
Yes.
So let me
But
clarify. So it's like
good reference though.
Good reference though. I like the reference.
Me that there's ranked choice voting in stocks. That doesn't surprise me.
That surprises me.
Yeah.
So it's like you either pick the party selection of preference of their rank preferences, or you can like below the 80% line. There's a black line, and then you literally go. I pick the Greens for one. I'm just giving you an example. All right. And then maybe if the Greens don't win, then the Labor, then Liberal, and there's a whole bunch of like other parties that no one really cares about. Independence. I think Independence, another one. Yeah, so you can actually kind of pick if it's a tie vote or something, right? Which rarely ever happens. Then the preferences actually matter.
They'll do like a runoff, right?
Yeah.
They do a runoff if there's a tie, right?
Something like that. Yeah, but that's where the preferences come in. So
it goes to where they look at which one of the two that tied had the highest had the second rank won the second rank. Right, so you do 1, 2.
Yes.
If that's another tie, you go to the third rank, and if that's and you count them by rank, and then whoever is the first one to actually win one, I think is elected at that point. That's one way to do it. That's how they do it in Ireland.
That's how they do it in Ireland. So I'm so curious now because I'm not an American citizen. I went to American schools all my life. Went to university in Beloit, Wisconsin. But I've never voted in America. So how do you guys vote when you vote? Like, is it a similar process? You just tick one box?
It's by state, by the way.
So we get a ballot, and it's each state. So one of the things, and this is important to understand, that the Constitution explicitly states, and this is one of the things that Trump is trying to fuck with, but explicitly states that elections are managed by the state. Each state gets to decide how it votes, right? So, and that is a constitutionally protected right for each state. Is we get to decide how we vote as a state. The state determines.
That can be so confusing.
Yeah. Well, these are things that we're actually actively fighting against. This is something that is actively under attack by the administration. So, I think we all have a good baseline of what where we're all kind of coming from, and I really appreciate your perspective on uh, um, Australian voting, and I think you're also going to be having a lot of things that you might want to say about this debate with Hofstetter and quote unquote Professor Mike. Um, sorry, I can't actually give him that title.
Mike, just call him Mike.
Unironically, I just
Yeah.
can't. Um, no, I don't even want to give him that. That sounds too like, but yeah,
You
sure.
don't want
I'll
to give
just
him
call
the
him Mike
mic?
throughout. That's what. That's what. I don't. I give him the mic, but Steve Hofstetter, that's what he goes on mic directly and throughout the chat, so it'll be easier to see the same thing. Let me
All right,
go
that's
ahead
sick.
and start the
Excited to see the video.
and if it if anybody like really wants to like, hey, I want to respond to that, just shout pause, and I'll pause and we're kind of like Let's Go Am, but not like it's a game. It really is just like
Got
if there's
you.
something like I want to respond to what I just heard. That's we are
PAWS,
doing
right?
live
Pause?
reacts.
Yeah. Why is that?
Yes. All right. Excellent. Let me go ahead and even full screen this on my end. 5, a 4, a 3, a 2, a 1.
We're going to begin with an open conversation between Mike and Steve to try
I like
and
how we
find
all lean into
some
And I
it.
got my
common
finger
ground
right next to
when
the
it comes
space bar so I
voting
can
rights.
pause really
And
fast.
honestly, I'm going to let you two take it away. And once we have that conversation, then we'll start moving on to questions from the audience, in which we'll be going back and forth with strict time moderating.
Okay. Mike, you had said something about how we probably agree on more on voting rights than I think that we do. And so I'd like to see what that is. My question to you is the goal when it comes to voting to allow as much of a country's citizenry to vote as possible? Is that a good goal?
For me, that's a no. I think an informed population is better than lottie-dottie everybody.
By the way, it's not my connection,
okay,
it's
so-
Mike's. Mike's connection is garbage.
So you
Got
think
you,
that there
yeah.
should be some sort of exam or something? To, like,
Well,
how does one
I like to
qualify to
play
vote
with
then?
I like to play with different concepts. Whether that be introducing an increase in age, right? Or increase or implementing a civics test,
I wanna,
right?
oh shit, what?
Something along those metrics, something that is
Oh,
freely
hitting
accessible.
pause entered I'm just gonna mute that. But ooh, I can skip, cool. Hitting pause triggered an ad. We were talking earlier, I had an issue with my, whoops. I had an issue with my card and Google because of the stupid shit my son decided to pull with Roblox, and had to have I've had my bank reauthorize me to use my Google, use it on my Google. It's such a fucking pain in the ass, but it affected my YouTube Premium subscription. So
Oh, shoot.
ads. Yeah,
All good.
I fixed half the problem today. I fixed it on my bank's end, but I still gotta fix it on Google's end. There's still some verification I have to do on Google's end
Got
for me
you.
to use
What were you gonna
to
say
pay for
when
YouTube
you
again.
paused? You paused it for a reason.
Yes, thank you. I did pause it for a reason. Thank you for getting me back on track. No, no worries. I wanted to mention, because he starts right off the bat. He says that there should be some kind of civics test, and I just want you to remember that he said that as we continue to watch.
Actually, I want to interject on this real quickly here, before we continue.
Go
But
for it.
the interjection on this matter is that actually in one country in particular, Britain, has actually made it a mandatory requirement that all their citizens have to take a citizenship test, whether they're naturalized or not. Therefore, a comprehension of the study. Consider the fact that the majority of Americans
wanna
can't
fact
even
check-
pass their
I
own
wanna fact
citizenship
check that.
test.
Mhm.
Wow.
Sure. Let me. I want to fact check that.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep going though.
Okay, continue.
To every citizen, that'll qualify them, because I don't see voting as a right. I see it as a privilege, and seeing as how only 65% of the eligible voters only participate in presidential elections, 45% participate in midterms, and it gets less than that as we go into like special elections.
So, okay. Those seem to be two conflicting ideas, because you're saying that that it's bad
Got
that
a
we
fact
have a
check
low
on
voter
this.
turnout.
I did get. I looked it up.
Are you saying it's bad we have
they
low
do
voter
what's
turnout?
called
Did I
the,
understand that correctly?
I'm
The-
saying that
Sure. It's called the Life in UK Citizenship Test. It is not mandatory for voting in Britain. The test is strictly a requirement for individuals applying for indefinite leave to remain or naturalization as a British citizen. So it is just like people who are trying to become citizens in this country. It is not required for if you were born there.
Must have been an educational thing, kind of thing, like a student experience kind of thing. Like, you know, hey, if you're going to be an immigrant, you know, think about this test, what it was
Yeah.
like, that
Yeah,
kind
it
of
looked-
example. So I must have misheard on that one. That's my fault, everybody. My bad.
Yeah,